Hello, I'm Tom Smith. I was the director, star, producer, and writer of this film, The Computer Network. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what it took to make this film. Well, we started working on this film back in August of 2011 and all the way through October of 2011. I filmed a lot of this opening sequence myself. I just set the camera up and just filmed me walking. Very much kind of based on my own life. This film ended up being. So actually, this is kind of actually how my life really is when I come home. It's just, I just walk home. I'm wearing actually my McDonald's uniform, though we don't actually show it being a McDonald's uniform very well. I mean, if you're paying attention, you can tell it is, but for the most part, you just kind of know it's some kind of uniform. He just came home from work. One of them is being a little bit frustrated. Now, we don't really show whether or not he actually lives with his parents or what's the deal. We just show that he lives there. You don't see the rest of his family in the whole thing. You only see his friends. We tried to keep it a very low complication in terms of complications. So we just limited the cast to only 5 of us. So it just made things easier for us. So this entire intro sequence I just filmed by myself, just kind of showing his routine. And, there I am petting my cat, Phillips. He got into the movie. My other cat, Angel, also appears in this film. They're the family cats. So then we move him into getting on the computer, and he gets on Skype, talks to a few other filmmakers.
Hey, it's the Big Master Control program.
It's actually based off of, that line's from Tron. That's why he uses it. Something else big with computers. Actually, he's getting on YouTube first. So I show him get on.
4 more subscribers.
It shows that he's supposed to be doing, very well in his life at this point. But he's completely obsessed with the computer. You kind of see how it seems so harmless at this point. But as the film progresses, you see how much it just eats into him. There was some trouble with editing there, that's why I jumped cut several times there. So he gets on Skype.
Hey Joel, what's up?
And this is Joel Reiner. He's another big filmmaker on YouTube. He agreed. I asked him if he wanted to be in the film, and he said, "Sure."
On the last stage?
Bad, actually. We've been delayed. Probably gonna be another 2 more weeks before we finish up. But hey, Martin's on too.
So
here, adding him to the call.
Then we see Martin Groff.
Hi, Martin.
He's another filmmaker.
Hey, Joel. What have you guys been up to?
I've actually appeared in a few of his projects. A lot of this film is actually dubbed, and the reason for that was we didn't have an external audio recording system at this time. And there was a lot of problems with the camera making this annoying clicking sound, so we couldn't use a lot of the audio from it. So a lot of dubbing was done. It was kind of annoying,
Come on in, it's over.
but it turned out okay. Of course, here comes Robyne Hash.
Hey Sarah.
This was
Hey, George.
her first
What's new?
film that she had done for Blue Diamond Productions. It was also the third female role we've had in our films. No,
Wow.
I take that back. Actually, it's a 4th, because before then we had Amanda Ellison as Moneypenny in The Price of Loyalty and Try Revenge.
Hey, if you want
We
some
had
drink, just, yourself.
Lisa
Tea in the
Limbach
fridge.
for The Price of Loyalty, and we also had Kayla Denton as Miranda Bennett in The Try Revenge.
Yeah?
It's got 100,000 views now.
That's great.
So this, shows how he's just becoming very distracted
do
by
something
what's on the
Let's
with
go
the
see a
whole
movie with
computer
James or
stuff.
I got the computer.
Now this kind of got a little bit confusing right here. I wasn't 100% certain if the audience understood what happened. the way it fades, it looks like he just ignored her the whole time. That was not what I was implying. What I was implying was, yeah, he spent some time. Not just time elapses, and he goes to sleep holding a college textbook. That was just the way it went. It wasn't like he completely ignored her. He came back and probably did some talking, but I don't show that. Then we cut to a really good scene here on the University of Missouri's campus. It's a very nice looking campus. That's why I enjoyed filming there. Actually, if you pay attention, the background sound, if you pay attention to it, you hear the same background sound like replay over and over again. It's actually replaying over and over. Because I had to get some background sounds, and I only got like a 10-second background sound, so I kept replaying it over and over.
Dude, you know that Waze video did? You know the one with the duck? That went viral, man. That went viral, man. I don't believe it, but it went viral. It's like a dude and a duck.
It's crazy, man.
I mean,
but this was a really good scene. It showed us how much good friends they are. Though, actually, it's funny at this point, neither one of us was actually going to college when we made this. We're acting like we're college students, yet we've never gone to college. Another Tron reference.
I love that movie, and that would be the
But actually, the background right behind Chris is actually a spot where we filmed the show Revenge. Just like right behind him.
I'll see you later, bro.
Hey, bro. See ya.
It was good because he ends up going back the way he came. I don't know why. Why was he going that way anyway?
I hate reality.
It was kind of pointless, but it's just something I've always noticed. But now we've seen him. He's in college life, and he's still talking about the computer. You can see the obsession growing. And then we go back to his home, and of all things, he is on the video games, which is what I do very much often. So we did this really cool thing with them. They're not even in the same room, but they're talking to each other. That was his voice. Actually, I muffled it. It was actually him on the headset talking. Because we had some problems with his video footage getting blurry because the focus was all wrong. So I just we'll just show a few times with him on the headset. So it worked great. Duh, you hear him say. It's kind of low pitched, but you're trying to hear it. Actually, the footage of Shawn in this scene is actually flipped. Except for except on YouTube, the last shot is not flipped. It looks wrong, but every other version I was able to correct that error, but I just left it on the YouTube version. So if you watch this movie on YouTube, this last shot, when Shawn says, yeah, this time, is actually not flipped, so it looks kind of confusing. We had to flip it, so it looked like they were facing each other, even though technically they wouldn't have to. It just looks better.
Back into the computer.
Anyway, comes this really cool montage scene. This is actually the very first shot we filmed of the computer network. This was the... No, actually, no, I take that back. No, this wasn't the first day. This is the second day. Second day of filming. I actually enjoyed this. This was me and James Oxford. He was doing a lot of the camera work here. I filmed that just on the bus one day. I wanted to grab some shots. It'd be really cool. So we will film. Actually, that table's the same table I sat with Dustin Butterworth in the Show of Revenge when he was 003 and I was 007. Walking to the mall, walking around. Yeah, that table right there. This was fun. There were people looking at us like wondering what in the world we were doing. It's not an easy jump, but I've done it many times, so I was like, I'm gonna do it. It's just a great... Actually, this shot right here was actually part of a deleted scene. Didn't get into the movie. But I used the footage anyway, it just worked. Filming some more around the college, it's awesome. Actually, that bathroom I just left is actually through that door right there. And so he's right close, right next to it. So actually, technically, I was not running in the correct place, but it was fun. We filmed some stuff. Now we filmed some of the Shadow Revenge out here too. This was MI6 entranceway in the Shadow Revenge. So we've done some filming on this area before. I really like filming around here. It's really cool. And then we get to some more serious stuff, you know. So we've seen how his life is. Now we see how everything starts to fall apart. Actually, he was about to say zombies. I'm actually playing Nazi zombies at this point. I'm playing on Derice. Or Derice, however you pronounce it.
I don't understand.
The fourth Nazi zombie map. My favorite Nazi zombie map. The one I'm best at. This actually went pretty well because I didn't have to like dub the audio or anything. I managed to get away with it. Because I really wanted to still get the sound of me playing the video game in the background. Cat just randomly jumped into the shot, so we just included it. So it worked. I was actually me after the take.
I'll be there in just a second.
I filmed that actually probably a month after I filmed the beginning bit with me on the video game with Robyne, because we need this segue. So I'm actually supposed to be uploading a video onto YouTube. See, even when he's supposed to be hanging out with his friends, he just kind of jumps out there and continues to do his computer stuff. You need to see how obsessed he is with it. I mean, I got to that point at one part. Around the time I filmed this, I had some issues with that. So I was like, you know what? That was actually a really cool transition. I used that off of iMovie. This is one of the transitions you get off of iMovie. I like this trail. We use this trail a lot for our films.
So how's James anyway?
He's good.
It's funny they mentioned James, but James hadn't actually appeared in the film yet. It's James Oxford's character. I mean, so far we've seen his other friends, but we still haven't seen James.
Yes, and there's that.
This is a good scene because this is just an interpersonal play between the two characters.
Alright, maybe they were.
But it's nice. Because he's kind of arguing his case of why he is the way he is.
Okay, enlighten me. What's going on in my head right now?
The dubbing was okay here, but it wasn't exactly impressive.
That would be interesting.
No, it's
The music I do want to bring up in this movie is interesting because there's actually just one piece of music that I use over and over actually in the film. It's the main theme of the movie. New World Second Movement. It's replayed, but it's replayed differently every time because I used Sapphire Pro 5 for the music in this movie, which was royalty free, which I really liked. And we just cut into this action sequence. You're wondering, you know, what is going on? This was one of the most complicated scenes of the film. It's like, oh, what's that? And then, oh, he just killed his best friend. And then we see the music cuts, and then we see, they're in a movie. This was an interesting scene to film because we got the film within a film. It made things very interesting. We were trying to keep track of, you know, which camera is the camera that's supposed to be the film camera, and which camera is actually filming this movie. So it was kind of a little confusing here and there. It's like, no, Shawn, you're filming, you're actually in the scene. Chris is filming the movie. And they're like, what? So it got really confusing. So,
I think,
I was able to just... Well, we filmed the last scene too, actually, right here. So you see, Shawn's just wandering around with the film camera. But we used a couple of shots that he used as part of the camera work. It made it easier for our cuts. I considered making those shots black and white so we'd know which camera was supposed to be the film camera, but in the end I was like, you know what, we won't. I could have made that shot black and white, but chose not to. Actually, it was a flip shot from the later part of the scene. I just needed an intercut.
Breathe.
Here we go. This is fun. I have no idea what kind of movie they were making, but I thought that was kind of an interesting intercut. Cut! And then we just boom, blow the gun down and start talking about the movie. I realized I had my glasses on, so I decided to just put that in the movie.
That was good. Let's get some beats.
Now, this is usually what they actually do after the...
Oh, come on, dude. Pizza makes your day 20%.
Yeah, I like that. The 20% cool reference. That's actually a My Little Pony reference because Shawn Phillips is a brownie. So we were like, yeah, we'll throw in a few brony references. We throw in all these different references to other things. So I was like, I'll let him go with it. But that's what the whole 20% cooler thing is. So, bro hoof. Yeah. Me and Shawn Phillips are bronies. So we were like, you know what? We'll just, we'll go with that. Yeah, there was a lot of dirt. It was kind of annoying. But I like this knife. It's good for our movies now that I've got it. So I was like, you know, we'll see how it looks in the films by using it in this film for this film scene, so we can use it for later films. But as I was saying about the music, as you can hear, it reappears right here too. That was a fun shot because we had to line that one up with the bus going by because I knew what time the bus was going to show up. It's around the time we were filming, so I was like, you know, we'll do that. In fact, one of my coworkers saw us while we were filming that sequence. This was a fun sequence. I literally had already just come home from work around this time, so we had this, you know, like really cool stuff going on with the, like he was in the uniform because I got the blue crew trainer McDonald's uniform, at least at my McDonald's, it's used for crew trainers. So I was like, you know what, I'm glad I was able to use that more than the red. I don't care for the red as much, so I was like, the blue is a lot cooler. This guy just collapses. The Star Wars poster. You know, he just seems like an ordinary guy. He is an ordinary guy. That's what made this film so unique. Everything was so, you know, ordinary. Another use of an interesting transition change. This is actually our first bits of filming. The first shot we ever filmed was the bus going by. So this is all our first filming we ever did. Blue Diamond Productions logo barely appears. Kind of a cameo. And actually that's clips from the Survivor actually on the screen there. It was actually kind of funny. It was kind of in-joke references. We were making a lot of references. That's what I have discovered by rewatching this film. I was like, you know what? We made a lot of references to a lot of things. That was actually my reflection on the Soul update video that he's actually uploading. Actually, I'd already uploaded. I always cancel these uploads.
Back in half an hour.
He leaves, and then we finally see the first appearance of James Oxford in the film as James. But as I was saying about the music, we use this the New World second movement, and we use it several times in the movie. But it just keeps changing because Sonic Fire Pro 5 allows us to change certain things using only certain instruments of the music, certain tones. So it gave it a uniqueness, yet you could still tell it was kind of the main theme of the movie, and it kind of replays over and over. And the scene, like, I'm trying to keep up with the film at the same time talking, but like after they were done filming, that's very much what we do. We go out and get pizza and enjoy ourselves. But, you know, since this character of George is falling apart, you know, he doesn't do that, which would be odd if I didn't do that. Because we'd always do that. That's kind of our number one thing, go out and get some pizza after filming. This was a fun age.
Cheers, everyone. Here's to another successful film.
Yes, and a great.
This is our last scene we filmed of the movie. It's a fun scene. We just us hanging out. Things are getting cool. Shawn throwing out his stuff.
Okay, so what's next?
I don't know.
It's a lot of
We're
fun.
between films now, so on with the boring times, I guess.
Oh, come on. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
You see,
probably
he's maybe he'll do fine. You know, he just had some rough times at work and everything, but this film should help him. And then we see 2 months later, everything has not gone well.
How dare they attack my films like that?
Well, you know,
Matthew Wood, another filmmaker, great guy. He's done some good stuff, and of course Martin Groff again. You know, more Skype calls type stuff going
I
on.
swear, people are actually listening to
I did have a spot in my life, in my actual life, in July of that year, where I had a big attack from critics, which led to kind of an incident where I just fell apart with everything. Fell apart with people on the internet, with my fan base, because I was very depressed, and also fell apart with my friends outside of the computer, as George would put it. So that really inspired certain changes to the original script. I mean, it was already kind of being scripted that way, and then this all happened, so it was like, yeah, a lot of changes were made to the film, because I really wanted to give an uplifting message that even when all this stuff happens, like what would happen with me, that it's not always the worst thing that can possibly happen. So he's upset.
I don't know what to make
And
of George
then-
anymore.
I know. For the past 2 weeks, he's hardly
This
talked to
is
anyone.
No, I mean for the past few years.
a scene that was done very well, I think, especially by Chris. I think Chris, I think, had the best performance of this movie.
Life seems better on
And Chris had a really good performance, and Robyne had a really good performance, and Shawn had a good performance, and then James had a good performance. I don't know. I've often thought I probably actually had the weakest performance. I think I overplayed it, made it seem too fake. Everyone else seemed a little more natural. I was kind of forcing it out, and it didn't seem very good to me, but that's my opinion. But Chris really just nailed it with his character.
I'll talk to him.
So then here comes this whole montage scene that actually I filmed by myself again. And I don't know, this scene seems kind of forced on
giving everyone your talent.
my acting performance. Actually, there's one bit that's kind of almost random here.
Try to do the
My
best you
cat
can, try to achieve the best.
walked into the scene, so I just,
People don't accept
like, he
it.
didn't care.
People don't
So he
like
just
it.
kind of just dumps him. Because he's depressed.
You do.
This whole depression bit. Oh, my cat. I didn't even realize she was back there when I
And then
jumped onto
on
the
both part, you can see
bed.
it. What do you do when
But
both
I was supposed to be
I mean,
upset, so he didn't care. Got his uniform.
terrible now.
And it's just, you know, everything's falling apart. I mean, this is, I reached this point at one point in my life, so I tried to think about that to give myself my acting, what to concentrate on so I look cool and what it's all about. What was I going through? What was I thinking when I had this whole situation with my situation when I had a really rough time at work and everything?
He doesn't talk much about it. We just play
I
video
mean, this is where he reaches the lowest point of his part of the movie. This is the low point, and he's just really messed up. So I got this nice music just playing in the background. I considered using the main theme of the movie, but I was like, no. This music sounds better for this scene. This is a big scene of the movie. This was supposed to be the big scene of the movie, because they both give these really good speeches
yeah,
to each other.
It would be pretty stupid.
And
What's wrong, George?
it is a spin.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
My dubbing there was not so good. I sounded way better when I actually acted it. I felt like my dubbing hurt my performance even more. But there was no way I could use it. This whole speech about how bad the world is the way some people are. I mean, I've seen it, and I've thought that sometimes, but really, you gotta not worry about a lot of that stuff.
I found a way to escape. On the computer, I inspired people, I helped people, and
He just really believes this. I tried to convince everyone that this guy really believes this.
I have no to escape.
Only she's able to counter him with even better speech about how the way the world is.
It's not working out. What do I do? You tell me.
What you do is you remember that you have.
Yeah, that's the
James,
thing. He's
Alan,
being very
Shawn,
selfish
and
at this
me.
point.
And even after all this,
He's
you
being
still want to help
extremely
him.
selfish, and
Don't
they
make us
are
regret that.
reaching
You
out
guys are
for
doing
him.
so much better than I am right now.
No, you might think that, but everyone has problems.
We weren't able to do this all in one take, I'll promise you that. I mean, we weren't able to nail our speeches
Don't look at that way. We're
perfectly.
not living
We got it pretty good, though.
because it doesn't work that way.
But this was our final film of
World.
2011.
You just
It
have to live your life.
was our final film. We'd already filmed The Lost Scene, The Lost Scene 2, the Survivor series.
Look around you.
But
We all care about you.
What have I been doing wrong all this time?
Have you been reading your Bible?
now, originally in the script,
Can't
she
remember last time
actually
I read.
Never go a day without
pulls
reading.
out his
That's
Bible
what
and
you always
says,
told me when we were growing up.
never go a day without reading it. She actually had it, but I actually forgot to bring it, so I had to have her ask, have you
Yes,
been reading
you
it?
have.
But originally she pulled it out and said,
Might.
never go a day without reading
Oh,
it.
might?
Yes.
But
might.
it didn't end up
Sure.
working out that way. No, he feels a lot better. So
We've always been
it
like this.
changes. His attitude
Okay,
changes. It's kind of quick and, very quick, but, it's a movie.
That's why I pick on you.
So she kind of snaps him out of
Hey,
it.
you want to go see a movie?
Sure.
All right. Well,
So everything's much better.
give a call to Shawn, James, and Alan and see if they want to come.
And they walk off. No, I didn't want to end the movie there. I really wanted everyone to be in the final bit of the movie, but Chris was unavailable for filming on the day that we filmed the final scene of the movie, so we weren't able to have him, so I just had where he had him on the phone. He gets a phone call to Alan. We actually really were playing video games. Actually, only 3 of us were, because one of the video game controllers was not working, so actually Robyne isn't playing. But me and James and Shawn were playing, and Shawn did win. We didn't know who was going to win, so we were just kind of playing it. So we're just kind of randomly playing while we're letting the camera film. And it was really fun. And then Shawn won, and I was like, oh man.
That was awesome.
So, since we didn't have Chris, I make this phone call to him just to show that they're all going to meet up. But I would have preferred it if
Down.
he had been in the final scene. It would have been better if all 5 of them had been in the final scene.
Okay.
But due to complications beyond our control,
Okay.
we weren't able to do that. So, but I think it ended up turning out okay.
Okay. Let's head
This-
happen.
I like this whole bit.
Well, we better get going if we want to go to eat before. the
Now,
next
actually,
one.
this
What can you do if your favorite place to hang out is one of the top college hangouts in the city?
Yeah. Well, let's get moving.
All right, I'll get the car started. Onward.
Onwards to Equestria, another reference to My Little Pony. Bronies.
It's good to have you back, dude.
So, this is kind of the closing thing of all the characters.
So, now what?
Shawn's good with everything. James is good. Alan, we don't see him, but I'm sure everything's fine there. And, of course, Robyne
Neither will Jesus.
and him.
I know that now.
Robyne and, Sarah and George, are good.
Oh, we better get.
And then, they're going to actually a pizza restaurant. That actually is a very popular pizza restaurant. That's why we make the reference that we better get there before it fills up and stuff. And actually, that was filmed a while after the filming that I did with them outside. It was like probably a month later before I filmed this. But it flowed together pretty well. It actually worked, except for the fact that my shirt wasn't tucked in when I was
I
inside.
just had to get another file started. What? Just because I'm...
This is kind of just a little bit of humor I wanted to throw in at the very end.
Mr. Director.
Hey, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna take
I actually enjoyed this ending. I thought it was good because it was kind of funny.
See
Yourself. Oh, ha, ha, ha. That's
Very
good.
funny, Sarah.
That's good.
Come on, let's
Actually, this shot we filmed quite a bit later. I know it doesn't work when sunlight turns into sunset, but it looked really nice. We were like, come on, we gotta film this. So, my thing is, this is probably maybe later after that. It does look nice. And it looks pretty nice, and the music's nice for the end credits, and that was the movie. That's the Computer Network. This isn't my best commentary, I must admit, but... You know, Martin, Goff, Joanne, Matt, Matthew Wood, got the network friends in there. Thanks, guys, for helping me with that. But I really do have to thank Shawn Phillips, Robin Hash, James Oxford, and Chris Mooney for helping me make this movie, because this was I was very nervous about this movie, because this was a drama. Every film we had done before this was action. This was our first drama. So it was like, yeah, there's our main music we use. New World, Second Movement, Largo, Anton Dvorak's Ninth Symphony. But all these musics you can get off of Soundfire Pro 5. And they're all royalty free. So it's kind of nice. So I tried to make this film as unique as possible. And in the end, it turned out okay. I mean, it wasn't our best. I don't think it's our best film, but it adds some unique qualities to it. I will give it that, and I will say it's our most unique film that we have ever made. So I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I hope it gave you a little more insight to what it took to make this film. And of course, I thank the Matthew Wood, Joel Reiner, and Martin Groff with those final special thanks. And we ended 2011 very well. So thanks for watching, and hope you come and see our 2012 films as well. So take care, everybody. This is Tom Smith signing out.